This is your guide and tip and tricks for Brigitte. But before we get into this, consider subscribing. And I would also like to thank you guys for all the support from last video. Thank you! So, tip number 1. You always want to have a good aim trainer to make sure you hit all of your shots with Brigitte. I know it could be challenging sometimes. I usually spend up to 30 minutes every day training my aim with Brigitte. And so should you! Tip number 1 is very important. I can't stress that enough. Tip number 2, make sure to always insist your other support switches Ana or Mercy for that juicy damage boost. Because when it all comes down to it, it's really just you and your other support that's carrying the team in the end. I'll use this clip as an example. You see how the Mercy damage boosts the Brigitte? Very majestic. And just see how easy it is to shred this wrecking ball. Just tear him apart with your rocket flail. Beautiful. Now on to tip number 3, Brigitte's shield. Whenever the enemy team starts shooting at you, just pull out your shield and mitigate that damage. You may always want to have more damage mitigation at the end of a round than your tank. And if you don't, you're obviously doing it wrong. You can also block other characters' ults so you don't immediately perish. And you don't always want to use Brigitte's bash aggressively. You can also use it defensively to get behind cover and get closer to your teammates. And most importantly, to get to that sweet, juicy Mercy pocket. Moving on to tip number 4. This one goes in correlation kinda with tip number 1. Not kinda, but it really does. You want to use Brigitte's weapon. You need to make sure to aim it at the enemy team, because Brigitte's main way of healing her teammates is hitting the enemy team with attacks. On the topic of attacks, Brigitte also has a little flail boop that's very effective. This is my visual representation. That attack also heals your teammates if you make contact with the enemy. You know, that's what I really like about Brigitte. Such a cool concept, attacking and healing. Very cool. Tip number 5 time. Play with your team. You always want to push up as a team. And make sure to always get mad at your teammates if they don't. If you don't push up with your team, it spells utter defeat from the start. And I hate losing competitive matches. On that note, tip number 6. Don't play with bad teammates. It's that easy. Just don't queue up with bad people, lol. On to tip number 7. Using Brigitte's ultimate. You always want to pop it to secure that play of the game every single time. Make sure to stand in front of all of your teammates while using it with your fat shield. I hope these tips and tricks really helped out. I hope you learned something from this video. Here's some clips of me absolutely destroying with Brigitte. Hope you enjoyed that amazing clip. Now here's another.
Okay, get wrecked, ball.
Now that's peak Brigitte gameplay. I thank you for watching this far in the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. You could also check in my stream. I usually stream daily.
Everything, but